Lately, I have felt incredibly scattered within my mind, but also completely content and grateful. It's a weird mix, and I'll get deeper into that in a second, but first, I wanted to recap my month of June. June to me felt like a special month. It was warm and rainy, and then the sweltering heat crept in such a subtle way. And I've been trying to spend time in my garden in the mornings or in the evenings because midday is just painful here in Texas. And I have noticed all of the butterflies hanging around my mist flower. Sometimes there's like 5 or 6 just fluttering all around together, and it makes me so happy. Also, I never knew mist flower got this big. It just seems like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. There's still so much I want to do in my backyard to really make it feel like this magical fairy tale garden, but realistically, it's gonna take time, and I probably won't start working on my backyard again until the weather cools down. But it really has been so wild to see all of the changes, and when I look at footage from where I started to where my backyard is now, it's made a lot of progress, and it's just so cool to see. And I really feel like that's a lesson in itself. You know, sometimes we forget where we started or how something looked before. So it's really important to take a minute and soak that in. And so I'm just enjoying my backyard, taking care of my little plants, and once the cool weather rolls around, I definitely will start doing some more transformations. We did power wash the back fence finally and did away with the terrible peeling paint that was all over it. And I just felt like it made the fence look older and it took away from all the landscaping. But I love how it looks now. I am still considering staining it or painting it, but I'm just so happy with how it is right now. In the kitchen, the backsplash is finally done, and I'm so happy with it. I really love the white subway tile, but I feel like now it's just so much white in the kitchen. So my next little endeavor is going to be to paint the kitchen walls, and I'm thinking like a sage green or something really earthy that feels a little bit warmer. I went camping for the first time ever, and now I want to camp all over the country. It's so much fun. It was just so incredibly peaceful. Being in nature has this spiritual effect on me, and I think on most people. And that brings me to my last reflection of June, and that is that I've been strengthening my spiritual self lately. I have been on this deep dive listening to other people's near-death experiences. And I feel like near-death experiences kind of kick-started my whole, belief that something else exists outside of just us being here temporarily. I call that my little spiritual awakening. I go on these deep dives of just taking in knowledge, listening to other people, reading books, and then I'll feel really burnt out and I'll have to put it all on the shelf and then just like live in the present moment for a while. And then I feel the need to tap back into it. So that's what I've been doing lately. I think why these people's near-death experiences fascinate me so much is because it's almost like within their story and the faces that they make while telling the story, you can sense such a deeper truth. Like these people have really encountered something that we can't even fathom, and it's almost like their soul is telling the story. I'm sure someone out there has to relate to this, others may not, but sometimes I just feel like being human, being alive in this world is so incredibly difficult. Like it's just hard day to day, and I am grateful simultaneously because this experience is so wild, and what are the odds of being alive, you know? But at the same time, it just feels really heavy. I think I find comfort in listening to these people's stories because it reminds me how connected we actually all are. And I have this bad habit of going off in my own world, going off in my head, and forgetting that human connection and connecting with others is essential basically for a fulfilling, harmonious life. And when I watch these people, it just reminds me that I think the point of life is really to love one another cherish one another, be kind to one another, even when the world can be so cruel and people can be so heartless. It's so important to still show up and meet people with love. And that may sound cheesy to some, but I really genuinely think it is the point of life, and I think it would make a better society. So I have just been in this slow, reflective energy, and I kind of feel it moving into the month of July. And I've been trying to be okay and at peace with just being where I'm at and not trying to be too productive and exert myself too much. I just am slowing down a bit. I'm trying to be okay with that. Even though I live in here a lot, I also live here in the 3D world, and I do like things. So I wanted to share a few of my favorites that I've been loving probably throughout the last couple of months or so. And I guess I'll start with this. This is my new Garmin watch, and I'm not really a watch person. I don't love the way a watch looks, but this one is all right. You can completely customize it, which is cool, but it is so accurate as far as tracking workouts and your pace and your steps and your heart rate, your sleep, all of that. I also have one of those rings that tracks everything, and I just feel like this is way more accurate. Also, the feature I love about this is I can listen to Spotify and go walking or running and not have to carry my phone, which I love so much. And this does have the feature, I think like an Apple Watch. I've never had an Apple Watch, but you can get your texts and calls through it, but I opted to not do that. I just love the idea of having my watch, my headphones, and going and working out and just being very present. So I have been loving the Garmin. Speaking of walking, the next thing I've been loving are these shoes. And I recently got these from Anthropologie, and they're the brand Puma, but I am so into the ballet flat sneaker hybrid. I think they look so cool, and I think that they go with literally everything. I love wearing these with dresses and skirts. Like I'll probably wear this today with my flowy skirt, and I'm going to be going to Europe soonish, so I have been trying to just get shoes that are functional. And also, as I'm getting older, I feel like taking care of your feet with the type of shoes you wear is so important. I also am an owner of the Vibram. I got those so long ago, and people made fun of me and said they were ugly, and now they're apparently trendy, but they are so good for your feet. So I love these. I have to show you this. This is the Emerson tote bag, and this is from Free People. I feel like I'm always kind of late to trends. I don't know why. I think maybe it's my algorithm. It just leaves me out, but this was really popular. It still is popular, but I think like a year ago is when it kind of took off. But this is so perfect for a work bag, and I actually find myself using this just day to day as well. I don't know if it's the best quality ever, but I just really liked the way it looked, and it fits everything I need, so I love it. They also have the baby Emerson, which is exactly like it. It's just a bit smaller. I think maybe I want to get one of those eventually just to change it up a bit, but this is so perfect for work. I got this for my wallet, and I have been wanting a small journal wallet for the longest time. This is a traveler's notebook, and they did a limited release on these, and I'm sure that they'll probably come out with more, but I did get mine off of eBay, and I just love the idea of having a wallet that is also a journal. So when I'm out by myself, I can opt to open my journal and sketch or write notes rather than going straight to my phone. I'll show you the inside here. You can pretty much customize this with the inserts, but I have this canvas card holder on the inside, so all my cards are right there. And then the back of it here is just where I keep my coins and my money. Then it came with this little craft folder. I just keep some Polaroids in here. And then it came with this little booklet, which I customized a little bit, but I have grocery lists, doodles in here, and you can just write whatever in here. I kind of wanted to make it more of like a sketchbook, but I love my little wallet journal so very much. The last thing that I wanted to share with you is a book that I really loved, and I actually listened to it on Spotify, the audiobook version, which I highly recommend because the narrator did such an amazing job, and it has sound effects in it, which I love. The book is called How to Hold a Cockroach. It's about this boy's encounter and journey with a cockroach and his disgust and how it kind of turns to curiosity. It's about pain and suffering, which is inevitable in life, and how reframing your thought process can kind of make the human experience interesting and more tolerable. It keeps like flashing back to his childhood, and it keeps reiterating how important it is to look at things, look at experiences with that childlike curiosity that you once held. You know, when you started a new hobby as a kid or got into an interest, it wasn't because you wanted to perfect it or you had to do such an amazing job at it. It was coming from a place of just genuine curiosity and excitement and interest. And so this book just does a phenomenal job of exploring that lost part of ourselves. So if you have about an hour and you want to listen to the audiobook, it's amazing. Probably one of my favorite books of all time now. That is all I have to share with you. If you've made it this far, please leave a little emoji in the comment or like the video, because actually I'm finding that the algorithm on YouTube is so much different now, and when your videos are engaged with, they just tend to be seen by more people. So if you liked this video and you want to support me or validate me, I guess, please leave a comment. I will see you in my next video.